Om Namaste Sharade Devi Kashmira Puravasini Tvamaham Prarthaye Nityam Vidyadanam Cha Dehi Me Ya Shraddha Dharana Medham Vidhivallabha Bhakta Jihwagra Sadana Samadhi Gunashalini Namami Yamini Nadhalekhalankrita Kundalam Bhavanim Bhavasantapa Nirvapana Sudhanadim Bhadrakalyai Namo Nityam Saraswatyai Namo Namaha Vedanga Vedanta Vidyasthanebhya evacha Brahmaswarupa paramaa jyothi roopa Sarva vidhyadhi Devi thasyai vanyai namo namaha Yaya vina jagat sarvam saswajjivan mritam bhaved Jnanadhi Devi tasyai saraswatyai namo namaha Jagat sarvam mukhamunmattavat sada Ya Devi Vagadhishthatri tasyai vanyai namo namaha. Bhagavan Sri Sankaracharya standing in front of Jagadambika Sri Sharada in Kashmiram and praising Mother. We should see that, Bhagavan himself, who is the embodiment of jnana, standing in front of Jagadambika Sri Rajarajeshwari and praising her. Because Bhagavan himself, you have already studied in Viveka Chudamani, Moksha Sadhana Samagryam Bhaktireva Gariyasi. Bhakti is the path for most of the people. There will be always exceptions like you all who are great jnanis, but others, for the majority of people in this world, bhakti is the path. Why? Because that is the yuga dharma. Each yuga has, we have seen all that. So in this Kali Yuga, Harer Nama, Namaiva Kevalam, Kalu, Nasteva, Anyadhagatihi. Kalisandarana says, in this Kali, Bhakti, Bhagavan Nama is the path. That's why Bhagavan Shankaracharya has composed more than 300 stutis on different devatas, on different occasions. So, this Sharada Stotram is one of the most beautiful stuti of Adi Sankaracharya. We have seen 4 verses. So, who is Devi? Devi is the embodiment of Vidyasthana. Vidyasthana, the source of knowledge. So, yesterday we saw the 18 Vidyasthanas, and the Sri Sharada is the Pratyadhi Devata of all this Vidyasthana. So, if she, smile at us, everything is possible. Have you heard about Kashikanandaji Maharaj? No? A great, recently only, Swamiji entered into Samadhi maybe, not even 10 years I think. It's a great scholar. Kashikanandaji, it's believed that in Varanasi, Maharaj studied in Varanasi, Banaras Hindu Vishwavidyalaya. It's believed, okay, if you ask me, have you seen? I have not. But it's believed that Swamiji's answer papers are still, preserved. Because he used to write his answers in, shlokas. Questions are given, he will write, on that moment, shlokas. Believe that, because Swamiji got that, he was they say that, he was not a very intelligent person or anything. But somebody told him to do the upasana of Sri Saraswati, and he did this upasana, and Mother's grace, because of the grace, it's believed, he got that medha, and then, within a short period, he mastered all the shastras. See, in these modern times, he was one of such person. Dwadasha Darsanacharya. All 12 darsanas is Acharya. And anyhow, you can Google him. But he is a great Mahatma. He is great Pandit. Swami Kashikanandaji. So he was living in Mumbai. Mumbai is, but nobody knows him. But he was a great scholar, Mahatma. Kashikanandaji, he was. And when you go to, how many of you have gone to Tapovan Gudi, Uttarakashi? If you go into Tapovan Maharaj's room, there's that, where Maharaj used to stay, there's only one photo. Photo of Mukambika. No? It's believed that Maharaj had before he became sannyasin, etc., he went to Mukambika and did, his upasana and had the blessings of Devi, special blessings of Jagadambika. That's how Maharaj also became a great. See, one thing is to know Brahman, another thing is to master Shastra. So he had that Shastra Buddhi. Anyhow, let us also pray that at least little bit, if you also get whatever we learn, at least we can understand and practice. That itself is a great blessing. So Jagadambika, Sri Sharada is the Pratyadi Devata of all 18 Shastras. And we don't want everything, but at least, one small bit of it, that will be enough for us. So let us pray to her for her blessings, and may she lead us. So we have seen 4 verses. Today is the 5th verse. Who is Bhagavati? Brahma swaroopa. This is a very important thing for all of us to meditate. What is the meditation? Here, sometimes, when we wonder why Sankaracharya is giving so much of importance to all these devatas. He goes to different places and then, re-establish the temples and all that. And if you, in our tradition, it says that in each and every pidha, Bhagavan had done the Sri Chakra Pradishtha, and all the, the Pidhadishwaras are supposed to be initiated into Sri Vidya. Why? Why? Because he is such a Brahma swaroopa, what you call that, embodiment of Advaita and all that. Why he did? So you understand that in Bhagavan Adi Shankara's path, Sri Vidya, or Sri Vidya was the path suggested by him. So the goal is Advaitanubhuti. Okay. So to Advaitanubhuti, we should do Shravana Manana Nididhyasana. Even to become a proper adhikari to do Shravana Manana. See, it is not just something, just comes up, To do Shravana, to do Manana, to do Nididhyasana, to do Dhyana, to enter into Samadhi. That is not a cup of everyone. For that, we have to prepare ourselves. That's why, Upanishad, Bhagavan himself says, this Samadhi Shatka Sambatyanandaram Brahma Jijnasa Kartavya. So, before even we start to do the Shravanadi, in ancient time, they study Karma Kanda, they perform the yagas and yajnas and Sudharma Anushtana. Through that, they used to earn Shuddha Chitta. The purity of mind is gained to Karma Yoga. Karmana Chitta Shuddhihi. So, Vedas, there are 3 parts. First part is known as Karma Kanda. Karma Kanda is for that, for Chitta Shuddhi. Without the purity of mind, sometimes Vedanta will become Asurika Vedanta. Because mind is not pure, and then we keep on hearing Aham Brahmasmi, So like Virochana thought, what is Brahma? Aham. Who is Aham? This body, me. So who is Brahman? This is Brahman. Brahman, see? This is, you'll see, we'll learn, read this also. Virochana, Guru gave a Upadesha. Yo Akshini Purushaha. That Purusha who is there in your Dakshinakshi, that is Brahman. Oh, acha, Dakshinakshi. No doubt, he went back. Indra was also there. Indra went, then thought, how can be, this Sharira can be Brahman? Because one day this will perish. And how can Brahman be perishable? So he came back. But Asura, Virochana was very happy. So why? Because even to think, we need purity. So, the entire Karmakanda is for purity. Karmana Chitta Shuddhi. Now, just only karma is not enough. You have to do upasana. That's why the second portion of Veda is known as the Upasana Kanda, where different kinds of upasanas are prescribed. In Aranyakas and Brahmanas, Aranyakas, etc., different kinds of upasanas are prescribed so that Chitta Ekagrata happens. So purity of mind and concentration. The mind should be ekagra. Without that, this will not work. So, purity of mind and clarity of vision and concentration very much needed. So, upasana helps us. That's why Veda's first kanda is karma kanda, second kanda is upasana kanda. So, in ancient days, when we are small children, and in our youthhood, we do the karma kanda and our mind is purified. When we become little like middle age, we started to do upasanas and upasana kanda, and then when we are ready, then we enter into jnana kanda. We are ready. So, that's how the Vedas are there. So, karma kanda, upasana kanda, jnana kanda. Please don't think that, these are all not needed. Maybe for higher sadhakas like you, may not be needed. But there are people in this world who need all these things. Okay? No, please, I am telling because afterwards you are going to become great preachers. So, we should be very careful. When we preach to people, especially to common man, yes, Upanishad, etc. is 100% truth. But whether they are adhikari for that, it's a very important thing to think. Even if we cannot give them any knowledge, but we should not confuse them. Now they are going to some temple, they are doing some dana dharma, they are doing some japa. Nothing is needed, go and do meditation. See, whether they are really adhikari for that. That's very important. All of us should be very careful when we do the pravachana and then, giving advices to people. Because we should not, wherever they are, from there we have to slowly rise them. Don't push them down. Their only adhara is little bit of, japa, little bit of kshetra, little bit of Bhagavan. What Bhagavan? We studied in Tattva-bodha, there is no God, Then everything is gone now. So, why I am telling all this? Because Brahma swaroopa. Please understand that Parashakti is none other than Brahma. You have studied in Lalita Sahasranam also, Parabrahma Mahishi, Brahma swaroopa. The same thing. Mithya Jagad Adhishtatri. Mithya Jagad Adhishtatri. She is the Adhisthana for this Mithya Jagat. So when they use Maya, please, we have to be very careful when we are using this word Maya. So sometimes what happens is, even for avidya, that which actually binds all of us, sometimes Shastra uses the word Maya. But you have to be very careful when we hear this word Maya. Maya is the supreme power of Bhagavan. We studied in Viveka Chudamani. What is that? Maya. Who is Maya? Maya? Avyaktanamni Paramesha Shakti. The Shakti of Paramatma, that Maya is not deluding anyone, okay? Maya is the Shakti of Paramatma, because of which Bhagavan is, this entire universe manifest. That Maya is Shuddha Sattva Swarupini. Shuddha Sattva Swarupini. She is Shuddha Sattva, because of which everything, all this beautiful world manifests, exists, everything. And there is Ashuddha Sattva, that means Avidya. What is Avidya? Malina Sattva. Means what? Tamas and Rajas is more. That's what in all of us, not all of us, in me, I cannot say your case. So generally in people, the Maya is not there. What is there is Avidya. So Avidya is not Maya. See, one is Shuddha Sattva Swarupa, Paramesha Shakti. That is not binding, okay? That is what actually helps us to see, because all this, she alone, the Sattva alone is helping us to grow, to cross over all these limitations. And in all of us, what is there? Avidya is there. Avidya is Malina Sattva, means Tamasika Shakti, means all this, Ahamkara, Mahamakara, all those. So when in Shastra, when we hear the word Maya, we have to check whether they are talking about Avidya or Paresha Shakti. Many places they use the word Maya for Avidya, which is binding. Okay? Don't get confused. We are not doing Namaskara to this Avidya. Okay? In our Stotras, etc., some like Parashakti, Paramaya, Maya Devi, etc., come. Understand that we are not doing Namaskaras to this limiting, this Ashuddha Sattva Avidya. We are doing pranama to the Jagadisha Shakti, which is none other than Bhagavan himself. There cannot be two. That's why I say Brahma Swaroopa. Who is this Sharada? Sharada is not a second thing. We are Advaitins. There is no Neha Nanasti Kinjana. There is no Nanatva. There is no plurality. Only Paramatma is there. Paramatma, when Paramatma manifests as this universe, we call that Paramatma as Parashakti. Shivaha Shaktya Yukta. So Shiva and Shakti are not two. This is Advaita. When Shiva is in action, is Shakti. When Shakti is in total, Swaroopa Sthiti, is Shiva. They are not two. Brahma Swarupa. Who is Sharada? Sharada is none other than Brahma. Brahma Swarupa. That is, the real nature of Brahman is Sharada. Brahma Swarupa. That's why Parama. This is not one more Devatas. Indra, Agni, Yama, Varuna, Nirdi, etc., etc., etc. So many Devatas are there. One more Devata? No. See, that's why that's the beauty of Sri Shankaracharya's Stutis. Although it creates lots of bhakti in our heart, lots of bhava in our heart, and then slowly take to that Supreme also. Okay? So, Brahma Swarupa Parama. Parama, the Supreme Brahman. Okay? Brahma Swarupa Parama. So, how is she? What is the nature of her? As the Parama, Brahma, Parabrahma Swarupini. How is she? She is Jyothi Rupa. This is what I want to. So, who is she? She is not a binding force. She is not darkness. She is Jyothi. She is light. Jyotihi. Jyothi, light. Jyothi Swarupa means Shuddha Sattva Pradhana. Bhagavati, Jagadambika, Parashakti, Parabrahma Swarupini, Lalita Bhattayika, Sri Sharadambika is not a binding force which create delusion in our mind. She is Jyoti. She is the one who actually shows us the light to walk this path. She is that Jyotis. She is that Atma Jyotihi. She is that supreme consciousness which actually leads us from this darkness of Moha Maya. So, moha, avidya, asmita, ragadvesha, abhinivesha, all that which binds us. See, as a jiva, we are, as though we are in a cave, and we are wrapped up with this all negative thoughts, wrong thoughts. And it is dark. So that's why we studied, asatomat satgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya. So that jyotis, what is that jyotis? Brahma jyotis, jnana jyotis, anubhava. So Jagadambiga bless us with anubhava. They say the real spiritual life starts from anubhava. Generally we say, we walk the path and then when will we reach and then anubhava comes. That is true. But how we know that we have started our spiritual life? Bhagavan gives us some small anubhavas in our life. There are some direct experiences. When I really experience them, then these all things are not just some ideas which we discuss on our coffee. This is something which I have experienced. Ishvara is something which I have experienced. But may not be fully, but we get that sweetness. We get that, the anubhavas, that strength. Then whoever may say whatever, it will not affect us because this is not from some, intellectual gambling or intellectual some discussions. For us, we know. We know that God exists. Right? Bhagavan gives us small things in our life. Chota. But that chota things, that gives us that faith. And based on that faith, when we start to walk the path, then things becomes more and more clear, and then we experience the Supreme. So, Brahma swaroopa paramaa jyothi roopa. She is that jyotis. Antar jyotir bahid jyotihi. No, atma jyotihi. That jyotis, that light, that hope, that strength, that purity, that shraddha, that which is there in us. Even when the dark nights of confusion and delusion attacks us, we have to go through it. But then there is a small lamp somewhere, you see. Everything is dark. There's no hope. But we see that there is something, some hope, some lamp, some light at the end of the tunnel. That is what actually gives us strength to walk. Otherwise, so what is that? What is that light? What is that compassion? What is that karuna? What is that love? That is she. That is Sharada. Sharada is that, ahituka kripa. Sometimes, we lose all hope in our life. There's nothing, this is all, meaningless. What is all this? Anyhow, maybe this is not right, or maybe I am not for this. Sometimes such things come. And that day, sometimes we get one message from someone, or somebody just, talk to us. Or sometimes some great thoughts just burst up, open in our mind. Some thought like that. Or you are just opening one book and then lines are there, which are the answer for your. This all happens to us. Why? That is she. She is not somebody who is sitting somewhere. She is there in and through. She is there always with us because she is the mother. Kuputro jayeta kuchidapi kumatanam. That's why, see, why we need a Devi Sankalpa? Brahman is enough. Ishvara is enough. Ishvara is enough, Why you need to see Brahma swaroopa paramaa? If she is Brahma swaroopa, then Brahma is enough. Because this tenderness of a mother. See, don't think that, Purusha, Stri. No, there is mother, that the qualities of a mother. A mother who can understand us, who can understand our limitations. Many times, fathers, it's not like that, but many times fathers they look in a different way. But mothers look in a different way. So a mother can actually accept us as we are. That's only a mother can do. Nobody else in this world can do. As we are, with all our limitations, with all our, bad qualities, mother can accept us. And that's why in all religions, most of the religions, you will see the importance of mother. Even in church, Christianity, that's why all this problem, Protestantism started. Because slowly, Mother Mary is becoming more powerful than all other figures. Because people need that. People need than a very strict father. They need a loving figure who blesses us, who accepts us, who forgives us. That's why every religion will slowly will wake into that understanding of a mother God. Why? Because we need that. So when that is not there, religions becomes sometimes very, very, very harsh. We can see, in world religions, when you study, you see that. If there is no mother idea in this entire, concept, then they become very harsh and very, very, lot of things happens within them, because there is nobody to forgive. So God is always standing there with a thunderbolt to strike. You do a small mistake, but then there is a mother who is always ready to take you into your bosom and then her bosom. And so that is mother, that is jyothi, that is light, that is compassion. See, one thing is lots of informations. Another is a little experience, small experience. So she is that jyotis. She is that hope. She is that compassion which actually enriches us, which actually help us to go forward. This story is very common in many places, but it says that in Shankaracharya's life also this happened. Near Kaladi there is a Devi's temple. So Shankaracharya's father used to offer milk every day to mother, Devi. One day father has to go somewhere, so he asked Sri Shankara, was a small little baby, gave this milk and said, you offer this to Devi. He went there. This story is very common in many places we see. So he kept this in front of mother, and then she's not drinking. So he felt very sad, because father brings, and then she started to cry. And mother asked, why are you crying? So he said, no, you are not drinking this milk. Maybe because you did not like me bringing it. My father. I said, no, okay. So mother drank the milk. Then again he started to cry. He said, now why are you crying? Because see, when father offers that, you give little back as a prasad. No, nothing is there. You are not giving any milk to me. Maybe you don't like me. So it's believed that mother actually breastfed Sankara when he was 2.5, 3 years old. Now this story is there for Trijnana Sambandhar also. He said that actually Bhagavan became so medhavi because mother actually gave milk to her. That is jyotis. That is compassion. That is love. That is the connection. And that is Sharada. Brahma swaroopa paramaa jyothi roopa sanathani. Who is always there. Sanathani. Everlasting. Ever present. In each and every moment of our life, mother is with us. Sometimes we forget her, but she will never forget us. That is our bela. We may forget her, but she is Sanatani. Sanatani, ever present. In our life, in all our good things, bad things, good times, bad times, when we are up or low, when we are, we lose everything, when we gain everything, each and every moment, Jagadambika is with us. Mother is with us. This is one thing we should always remember. In our life, sometimes we become very, Vijayi, victorious. Sometimes we fail. Sometimes some days are very good. Some days we are not able to meditate. Some days like that. But understand, Mother is always with us. Whether we are good or bad, she is with us. And she accepts us as we are. Of course, always she will tell, please improve a little bit. That is her grace. But she is there with us. Sanatani, Sanatana. Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana means ever present, which will never perish. That's Sanatani. So, before we took this body, she was with us. When we were in the womb of our mother, she was with us. When we are a small baby, as a child, as young, as youth, and when we get old, and the day when we leave this world, when we enter into the next world, each and every moment, she is with us. So don't worry. Just remember that she is with us. Whatever may happen, good, bad, up, no problem. She is always with us. Even we have to go to hell. So what? She is with us. As long as she is there, as long as Mother is there with us, why worry? So, but don't do something to go to hell. That is something else. But she is always Sanatani, Sanat, always. She is the ever protecting, ever loving presence in our life. Brahma swaroopa paramaa, jyothi roopa sanatani. And who is she? Sarva vidhyadhi Devi. She is the Adhidevata of Sarva Vidya. Not only Paravidya, but Aparavidya also. Everything, all Vidya, all kinds of, science. Whether it is material science or spiritual science. She is the Adhidevata. She is the presiding deity of everything. Because of her, why? She is the Brahma Rupini. She is the Bodha Rupini. She is the Chetana. She is the consciousness. Without consciousness, how can be any knowledge possible? Any knowledge, whether it is of the material or of the spiritual. Without Chetana, without the intelligence, without the consciousness, no knowledge can exist. And she is that pure consciousness, because of which all this knowledge, whether it is spiritual or material, they all exist. Sarva, all. Vidya, knowledge. Adhidevi, the Adhidevata of the presiding deity of each and every knowledge is Jagadambika. So, when she is pleased with us, everything is known. When she is not pleased with us, she herself, see, it's not that everyone knows everything. Why? Because whatever is good for us, whatever is best for us, that only she gives us. When we become ready for the next stage, then she herself will teach us. How? Through the acharyas, through books, or she can speak to us. Really, she can speak to us in different ways. Through the birds and flowers, and through the cats and, dogs, and they are all none other than the form of Jagadambika. And when we are ready, she will speak to us. A boy came to Guru. Jabala Satyakama. He came, Guru asked him, what's your name? My name is Satyakama. Okay. From which caste you are? He said, I do not know. So you go and ask your mother. And then asked mother. Mother said, I am Jabala. So you Jabala. Okay, that much only I know. I do not know the Gotra, etc. of your father. Came back and told him, Guru. My mother said, I am the son of Jabali and my fathers we do not know. Okay. At that moment itself, Guru did the Upanayana Samskara of that child. People asked, how can you do this Upanayana to him? How you know, whether he is a Brahmin? Who knows? Who is a Brahmin? A Brahmin is a person who is not, who dare to speak truth. Who is a Brahmin? A Brahmin is a person who dared to speak truth. And he spoke truth. He could have just came and told me, I belong to this Gotra, my father belongs to that Gotra, etc. But he did not do that. He spoke the truth. And he is Adhikari. He is Brahmana. So a Brahmana is not by, this is the Brahmanatva. He took him. And in the ashram, there were some 100 old cows. Said, you take them. And when they become 1,000, you come back. So Satyakama said, okay. He took him and beautiful. And he was serving those cows as Bhagavan himself. And many, many years passed. And one day, one bull came and started to speak to him. Said, now we are 1,000, let us go back. And when they come back, the fire start to speak to him. The bull start to speak to him. The Sandhya started to speak to him. The birds start to speak to him. And when he reached Gurukula, Guru said, you have already known everything. So, what I want to tell, Jagadambika, speak to us. We should be able to listen. We should have some, because our heart, our mind is always filled with so much of noise. We are constantly speaking. What? Rubbish. We don't even know what we are speaking. Morning onwards, going on. Some thought, one after another, going on. So, there is no space. So, let us be in silence. Not just, we don't speak, not only that, mind should be in silence. Then we can hear the eternals, that which rishis heard. We can also hear. Why? What is the difference? When we also become pure, when our mind is, our intellect is dedicated to her feet, she started to speak to us. That is wisdom. Sarva vidhyadhi Devi. She can tell us anything, everything. That's why, you see, you wonder how these great rishis who sat here, they are talking about, universe. They are talking about so much advanced science and mathematics. How? Because they hear the voice, the inner voice of Sharada, who is Sarva vidhyadhi Devi. So, what our mother pleases to show us, she will show us. Kanada speaks about atoms. How Kanada could envision the atoms and then how the atoms are joined together to become molecules. It's there. Kana. That's why he is known as Kana Ada. Kana means an atom. So, how all they know? Because their mind was in silence. When we enter into the silence, that's why Gita also will study. Maunam. Maunam is not only not we don't speak, mind becomes. Sarva vidhyadhi Deviya thasyai vanyai namo namaha. She is that Vani, Deva Vani, the voice of God. Vani, the speech, the voice. The voice of God, the voice of consciousness, the voice of Atman. Who is that? That is Sharada, who is always waiting. No, we don't give her a chance to speak because we are only constantly speaking. So when she's just waiting, let them stop and then I will speak. But it takes sometimes lives after lives for us to understand, what am I doing, going on telling this and that and this and that in my mind. Nothing happens. So one day, when we understand, when we recognize, the chatterbox of our mind becomes silent, she starts to speak to us. That is Vani. Vani, speech. The speech of God. She started to actually, all great Mahatmas, all great saints, they listen to her. Like that, we can also listen to her. And that's why she is Vani. Brahma swaroopa paramaa, jyothi roopa sanathani, Sarva vidhyadhi Deviya thasyai vanyai namo namaha. Om Trambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam, urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mukshiyamamritaat. Om Trambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam, urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mukshiyamamritaat. Om Trambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam, urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mukshiyamamritaat. Mrityunjayaya Rudraya Shambhave Amriteshaya Sharvaya Mahadevaya Te Namaha. 182. Om Achyutananda Govinda Vishnu Narayanamrita Roganme Nashaya Sheshanashu Dhanvandare Hare. Achyutananda Govinda Vishnu Namocharana Bheshajat Nashyanti Sakala Roga Satyam Satyam Vadamyaham. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvandaramurtaye Amritakalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashaya Sarvalokanadhaya Sri Mahavishnave Swaha. Apadamapahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Sri Ramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham. Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishah Gobrahmanebhya Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanyah Prithvi Sasya Shalini Deshoyam Kshobharahitah Brahmana Santu Nirbhayah. Om Sarvesham Sustirbhavatu Sarvesham Shantirbhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhaved. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amridam Gamaya. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.